And that's all I got for now.
Okay, thank you. Someone up next.
Hello, I'm Renee Randall. I'm from the Oklahoma City chapter that we're starting and interested in learning how this all works.
Okay, thank you for coming, Renee.
Hello, hi, I'm Ira Omir, and I actually have recently started a real estate development company, and I am coming here to learn more about, what's going on in Dallas.
Okay. All right, I guess that's pretty much it. Well, once again, guys, we would like to, first of all, thank you for attending our meeting and welcome. And what we try to do is educate each other, such as iron sharpen irons. And we meet here. We've been in virtual world for the last year and a half. And so what we try to do is continue to educate each other throughout the pandemic, because it's important to continuing, because we have fallen behind as a culture. So that's important why NAREB truly exists. So we'd love for you guys to join. It's still open to join. So you can go to the link, which is narebdallas.org, to join if you want to be a part of the other organization. So first up, we will have Renee Witherspoon. She would just be discussing American Cross of trying to get us to involve. So Renee, you have the floor.
Thank you. And thank you so much for allowing me to be here with you. As he stated, I'm with the Red Cross, specifically with Biomed Services, and that's the arm of the Red Cross that actually does blood drives. And I have recently taken on a new position as the regional sickle cell account manager. This position is specifically to work with the Black community in an effort to increase the number of African Americans or people of African descent in donating blood, which is very critical when it comes to helping patients with sickle cell disease. Many people have heard of sickle cell disease, howbeit they don't always make the connection with donating blood. For those of you that may not be familiar, sickle cell disease is a genetic disease. It's actually the most common genetic disease in the United States. It affects about 100,000 people, primarily of African descent, in which instead of your blood cells being round and smooth, they are sickled and somewhat rigid. This can cause frequent pain crisis. It can cause stroke. It can cause organ failure. And since I've been in this position, I found that many people die from this. So very critical to the healthcare of our community. The other thing that oftentimes people don't recognize with this is that people of African descent have antigens in our blood that you cannot find within the European population. And in those instances, when a sickle cell patient presents, it is quite possible that that blood is not available. And when that blood is not available, which means it's not enough of African Americans donating within the population, they have to do other things which provide a less suitable match of a blood product, which also can cause complications, which they're constantly building antigens, and it causes problems throughout their lifetime. So certainly not a situation that we want. After this, if Monty or someone would provide me with, well, I can send it to Monty, which is a wonderful video. It's only about 2 or 3. It really tells the story very well. And I think that it would hit home. So basically, again, I'm trying to enlist the help of Black organizations, people in the community, churches, anyone that's willing to partner with me to host a blood drive so that we can increase. Lastly, I'll state that it's become even more dire in the last year, as we've all heard before, when America has a cold, the Black community has a flu. So With the pandemic, we went from 4,000 African Americans donating throughout the country down to 2,000. So even more of a dent. I don't know if we have anybody on the call that has any medical background, or I would venture to say many of you might even know someone with sickle cell. So my goal today is to bring awareness and also to make an ask. I reached out to Monty, just sending out information. He said he didn't know if the organization was big enough to actually host a blood drive, but he would at least give me the opportunity. So I'm hoping that maybe you guys would agree to work with me. I'm looking for several things, either to host a blood drive, you can join an existing blood drive, or you can, what's my other option? Or provide me with contact another organization. Maybe you go to a church that may be able to help, or a business that would be willing to work with me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Renee. Renee, quick question. Have you have you found a location quite yet?
Not yet, because we have, maybe I forgot, but I didn't think we had focused on a specific area, but I do have some locations that I could get for us.
No, what I'm saying is if you have, because what we'll do is we would go to the location you pointed toward us. So if you don't make it this meeting, we can make it next meeting, where you can tell us and we'll put it out there for us to go there.
Yes, I do have several drives. September is Sickle Cell Awareness Month. So what I can send you after this is a list of all those drives, and depending on where people live, they can help me promote that one. Would that work?
That'd be great. Just send an email over to me.
Okay.
All right. Any of you guys have questions for
Any
Renee?
questions? Yes.
I had a question, a real quick question, Renee. I actually have a best friend who had his son had bone marrow transplant yesterday. His brother was 100% matched sickle cell, so his brother is gonna,
wonderful.
His brother's gonna donate. They're gonna go into his bone marrow and donate to his younger brother who has sickle cell. That was on yesterday. So my question to you real quick is, do you have any information on the hosting? Like, how can we get more information on what requirements you need to host?
Absolutely. Actually, it's a location, the ability to recruit at least about 30 people to come. I provide online portals and information, the marketing materials. So pretty much all you need is the passion. And even if you don't have a site, like with what Monty was saying, I can help you find a site, because we do have sponsors already that may be able to give us their site. And then you just work with me to develop the strategy in the recruitment campaign. And we just pick a date and start the blood drive. Usually I need about 6 to 8 weeks planning process. So right now we would be booking a blood drive in October, November timeframe, and that would give us plenty of time to prepare for it and to plan. Lastly, I would need probably a team of about 4 people that would formulate the committee. And definitely your that family telling their story would go a long way, a personal story. I do have other videos, but them sharing their story would be great. I would give them access to my marketing department, who could work with them to actually write something. We probably could even get something in the news.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it, Renee. You mind sharing your information in the chat?
Renee, do you have a telephone number that you can put out and repeat it twice?
No. I'm just put it in the chat.
Yep, I'll put all my information in the chat, email and phone number, and reach out to me as needed. And again, after this, I'll send a list of other information that will all be beneficial to answer all your questions.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Monty, I'm sorry, before you move forward, there's 2 other questions in the chat.
Go ahead.
Angela Miller and Janet Kane asked the question.
What size room do you need?
1,200 square feet approximately.
And what's the other one, correct?
Angela Miller, she said, can everyone with sickle cell trait benefit someone by donating blood. I believe that's what it meant.
So
Okay.
you don't have to have the trait, but you can donate if you have the trait. You cannot donate if you have full-blown sickle cell. In order to inherit sickle cell, both parents have to be carriers of the trait, and that's how you have sickle cell disease. Otherwise, some people do have this trait and they are able to donate. Having the trait normally is not very consequential, other than when you marry or have a child with another person that has it.
Okay. All right. We
Mhm.
appreciate it, Renee. Ms.
Thank you so much for all your questions. That means a lot. That tells me you would be a passionate a person to partner with. Thank you so much.
Please make sure that you provide all of the information that you have so that myself, I can get involved with the program because I just lost a lifelong friend that had sickle cell within the last 6 months I did. So if you please provide that information so that I can get involved, I'd certainly appreciate it.
Oh, awesome. I'm putting it in the chat right now.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, appreciate it.
Also, if she has any flyers or anything, Monty, she can share those with you to share with the group.
Okay, I'll definitely do that. Appreciate it. Next up, we have Deborah Candidate with Chase Bank. She's one of our sponsors for NAREB Dallas. Ms. Candidate.
Good morning, NAREB family. It is great to be back again. For some of you that don't know me, I've been around the NAREB family probably for the past 20 plus years. So it's just great to be home again. Wanted to let you know my new home now is Chase Home Loan, Chase Bank. And Chase has now Chase last year put out a $30 billion commitment to be actively involved within the Black and Latino X community. And what that means is that more home purchase loans, more refinances, more opportunities for small businesses, just a lot of things that we have out there that are available. So I brought along one of my home loan advisors with me so he could go over some of the things that we have in place and some of the opportunities that you as a realtors can benefit from being a part of the Chase family. So Brian Crawford, he started a Chase back in April, and he actually covers the southern sector, Duncanville, DeSoto, Oak Cliff, all of that community he covers. And I love his enthusiasm. He's young, so he can move around quicker than I can. So Brian, I'll hand it over to you at this point.
All right, thank you, Deborah. Good morning, everybody. Like Deborah said, my name is Brian Crawford. I've been a home lending advisor with Chase since April. Just to give you guys a little bit of background on me, I'm originally from Cleveland, Ohio, just transferred or relocated to Dallas in 2017. I served in the Air National Guard for 6 years. I was a manager for PPG at the Irving location. I opened that location. And so I got a little bit of experience on the home improvement side of things before transitioning to, my role as a loan officer or community home lending advisor with Chase. So, I just want to go over some things that we have in place, some of our products. The first thing that's a part of our initiative that's a really big help is going to be our home buyer grant. And we have two separate amounts. So we got two separate amounts. We got a $2,500 grant, and then we got a $5,000 grant. And they can go towards the down payment, closing costs, or discount points. This is a property specific grant. This is a property specific grant, and it's available throughout the nation. So I normally have my clients just send a list of properties over to me, and then I can let them know which grant is eligible for each property. That's just a great way to kind of get some of our people into these homes through Chase, just helping as far as the assistance go. We know that the down payment is one of the biggest hurdles to get over. So, that's a good product that we have available. Also, we got yard signs that promote the grants. And, you know, for our realtors on the line, you know, we can get together, you know, share listings, and I can let you know which grant applies for each property. You know, and once one of the buyers reach out to me, I'll go ahead and get them qualified, and then we can work on getting an offer submitted on our property. But we got plenty of marketing material. You know, reach out to me or Deborah regarding our grant and some of our other products that I'm gonna go over. Another product that we have is our Dream Maker product. This is a conventional product. Is income driven, so the buyer has to be within 80% of the area median income. We can go as low as 3% down on the down payment, and then this also can be stacked with the home buyer grant. We got reduced mortgage insurance on the Dream Maker product, and then also we offer a $500 home buyer education. So we have a list of different educational courses that you can get, and once the home buyer they get a certificate of completion, and they just upload it, show us that, and then we can apply that $500 to the closing costs or down payment to the loan. And then the last thing that I wanted to touch a little bit is our Chase Agent Express portal. So this is a portal for qualified leads where we can vet our or partner with realtors. So what's going to happen is we will vet whatever realtors interested in applying for the portal, and you have to be in, the qualifications is you got to be in good standing with the MLS. You have to have at least 2 years with at least 10 deals closed each year, and that's pretty much it. But it's a really great benefit, and you're already getting qualified leads. You can just be in the portal, and it's another opportunity to kind of grow your business. And then the benefit for the customers that they'll receive, if they work with one of the Chase approved realtors that we vetted, they get $1,000 after closing for using one of our realtors that we approve. So that's pretty much what I have as far as just products and programs of benefit to our customers and to you guys. I would kind of wanted to open it up for questions at this point.
I had a question and I might have missed it, but you said for the grant, is there like a is there an education portion of it for the buyers?
So we have a first-time home buyer education. That's a $500. That's just another, kind of benefit that we have. But the home buyer grant is no education. It's just a property specific grant. So what happens is normally I have a client or a realtor, they send me the property address, and I can let them know what grant that property is eligible for, whether it be 2,500 or 5,000. So there's no education, just it's property specific.
Okay, and then there's a time period, how long it takes to close?
A time period, it's really, for purchases, is really based off the contract, and refinances, we don't really have a closing time. Right now, I would say, given what I've been seeing right now, we got about between 35 days in order to close on a refinance, but the purchases are based off of the contract.
Let me just jump in and say that this is just a true grant. It's not an extra step. It's just what we do is go in, make sure that the property is in one of those areas that it qualify for the 2,500 or 5,000, and they automatically will receive the grant. Please understand that there are, on the southern sector, from going south, DeSoto, Duncanville, there are a lot of those properties qualify for one of the grants. It doesn't matter if the property is 300,000, 400,000, 200,000, a lot of them qualify for the grant. So when we say grant, don't think of it as low to moderate income. just think of it as we're trying to, again, increase home ownership for African-American and Latinx. So as a company, we're doing everything we can to help increase that market. Any other questions?
I had a question.
Sure.
This is Pat Douglas. How do we sign up or apply for the realtor, the Chase approved realtor or realtist?
You, Brian, you want to, Brian, I'll have Brian send that information to Monty, where his email, and you can email him, or you can email myself.
Well,
And
no,
I'll make,
no, email me so I can make sure that they're realtors.
okay, gotcha. Okay, so email Monty.
Yeah, they're privileged in being a member.
Right. And then after that, we can certainly get you signed up with the Chase Agent Express, which is a wonderful program. I support it, and I want you guys to definitely NAREB to be a part of it. I think it will be something that you'll be pleasantly pleased with.
So is that some way we'll get referrals?
That's correct.
That's the way we'll get the referrals?
Yeah. You'll get a lot of times, you know, people come to Chase, or even within Chase Book of Business, there are individuals that want to get qualified. We get them qualified, and then they don't have a realtor to go to. So that way we can push them out to the Agent Express group.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
I do have a question. This is Stephen Lewis. In terms of the buyer's agent that's been approved by Chase, are there any required percentage from the real estate commission that go towards the buyer for these approved realtors for Chase?
I'm sorry, you want to get that, Brian, because the phone went out on me. So.
Could you ask that question again? I think that might be one for you, Deborah, honestly.
Okay, I'm sorry, Stephen, I didn't hear it.
Yeah, no problem. So the question I have is, for these Chase approved realtors, are there any percentage from the buyer's agent commission that is going towards the buyer for just being an approved realtor for Chase?
Good question. And it is. It's 25% of the commission. 25%, yes.
Okay.
Okay. And the way I look at that, these are deals that you normally would not have had. Okay. So these are deals that we're sending there and sending to you. Customer gets their 1,000, you get a deal. Maybe may not be the commission that you normally get, but it's a commission that you would not have got.
Right. Understood. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Okay, I appreciate you guys for coming aboard. And we'll be touching base. But if you guys want to get in contact with Deborah, feel free to reach out to me or Brian. I'm gonna go down and check the list.
My new agent.
Hey, I'm gonna be it's Christmas over here doing the middle of something for the realtors.
All right. Glad to be back, and thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
All
you.
right. Next up, we have no other than Title Tina. And she'll be talking to us about marketing and branding. Are you ready, Tina?
I was born ready. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Hey. I miss seeing all you guys. I have to do something special though. Morning, Mama Ira. All right, you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and start sharing my screen and get started. All right, so I'm gonna go through this really quick. Branding is not something that is quick, but I'm gonna go through it quick this morning. All right, so let's get started. So, being that we're right now in the pandemic, you know, it's really, really hard for you to make contact and so forth with your clients. So I do have a different presentation on that, but we're going to go on this morning and talk about how to brand yourself in real estate, because I get this question a lot. Okay. First of all, it's, you guys are probably saying yourself, I have my name, I have my logo, but I really don't have a brand, right? So let's take a look at what branding is. Okay. it's actually the perception people have of you and your business. Like, if I were to say to you guys, Chick-fil-A, and you guys feel free to take your phones off of mute because I like interaction when I'm doing these things. I don't like to feel like I'm just talking to myself because I really want this to be a dialogue where it's a two-way communication. I feel like people learn more when you do that. So you have to understand that the people that you have encountered they have already formed an opinion about you. And it's made up of a couple of things. It's going to be your online presence, the memories, their experience with you, and then all of these things come together to create a brand and how people feel about you. Like if I say Chick-fil-A, Stephen, when I say Chick-fil-A, what's the first thing that comes to mind?
The fries.
Are you serious? For me,
it's
the lemonade.
Well, that's because my son, he loves their fries.
I think it's the chicken nuggets, the little nuggets.
That's right, Miss Pat.
Okay, well, let me
I would say service.
Yeah, it's the customer service for me. Yeah.
That's what I was looking for.
Yes.
People really,
Steven just hungry over there. That's all.
all it is. He's hungry. But most people say it's the service.
Me too.
There's nothing special, really, honestly, about a piece of chicken, a chicken breast, and they only give you 2 pickles. They're not going to give you 3, then I will give you 4. You'll get 2 pickles between this bun, right? That's it. But it's the service. It's the whole experience. That's why when you go there, there are lines, plural, are wrapped around the building. And if you notice, more and more fast food restaurants are starting to adopt the way that Chick-fil-A actually services their customers with the client. Have y'all noticed that?
Yeah.
It works because it's all about an experience. That's what people remember. So basically, Jeff Bezos, y'all, where all my money seemed to be going, he said it this: it's what people say about you when you're not in the room. So you have to ask yourself, what are people saying about you when you are not in the room? Some of us may want to know, some of us may not want to know, right? Okay, why is it important to build your brand? Because it's going to solidify your identity as your career advances. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more. It gives you a stance of an industry professional. And I want to really commend Stephen for what he's doing with his program. Great job, because it's a trendsetter and it's at the forefront. If you guys haven't checked it out, you really should talk to Stephen Lewis about what he's doing. Because congratulations, my brother. It creates a lasting impression and it makes you memorable. So that's the main thing about your brand, okay? Let's say I'm with Remax, right? Or Power Banker. Well, Power Banker, Keller Williams, their brand is already established. But what's to say if you were to leave and go to a different brokerage, you want to be able to pick your brand up, your book of business up and go over. That's why it's so important for you to have your own identity. You guys notice Johnny and Philip were just great. The fact that I came in, I am not your average title rep. I am a walking brand of my own accord, right? You all know me, right? If I leave Community National and go somewhere else, y'all are going to remember Title Tina. So it's so important for you to really have a brand. That's the importance of it. Okay. Personal brands allow you to differentiate yourself by articulating and you leave a unique value proposition. So I want to challenge all of you today. Do you guys know what your USP is? Ms. Pat, do you know what your unique selling proposition is? Why should I get you as a realtor? Okay, can you share it with us?
What I specialize in or what my unique?
Yeah, what makes you unique?
Lots, land and lots.
Yeah. What makes you special? Why should I choose Miss Pat to do
Because a lot of people don't want food with lots because they don't pay enough. But I just did an $825,000 deal yesterday. So
okay.
So and it was land. So it helped me when I
hey, Miss Pat. Now I want to ask
you out to dinner.
Yeah. Now my question is this, Miss Pat. I didn't see that come across my desk.
Huh? You what? You didn't see it come across?
I didn't see that deal come across my desk, so we're gonna talk offline. But guys, it's so important. She's got her niche. She says, hey, I'm gonna deal with lots, but nobody else wants to deal with lots. I deal with agents a lot of times. They come to me and they want to talk about branding. Okay, Tina, help me with my brand. And I'll ask them, okay, who's your ideal client? Have you identified your ideal client? And they'll say, oh, it's a first-time home buyer. Okay, that's great. But break it down even more than that. Is it a first-time home buyer? What size is their family? How much are they making? What area are they in? There's so many different niches that you can go into. You can look, I have one client. She works with the Home for Heroes. She deals with firemen and policemen. That's what she deals with. And it's been a great market for her. So you have to identify not just the demographics, but you have to also think about how your clients think when you're actually developing your brand, okay? So I'm gonna go through these really quick. For those of you that want to get more into branding, because it's something I love, you can contact me. We can actually go through it because I'm kind of spinning through this because I don't know how much time I have. Monty, how much time?
Where are we? You got about another 5 minutes, Tina.
Okay, so let me just run through these. Y'all, I'm gonna go through all these little slides real quick. We're gonna get to the main one. The main one is, so how should you differentiate yourself, okay? You have to build a charismatic brand. And being that I don't have that many minutes left, in order for you to get the other.
You have more or less 5 minutes for speaking, but people will have questions. So get them, get them time to ask you some questions.
I'm actually going to be doing this class in depth because it's an hour-long class and it is a CE approved class. So I am going to be offering this class as well as brand identity and branding image, as well as personality and branding aesthetics. Those are the 4 classes I'm developing right now, but this is already one. So let me give you my contact information. You guys can reach out to me at 214-994-7205. And I'm going to close by saying we are CEOs of our companies, and the company you guys own is called Me Incorporated. So to be in business, you have to make the most important job is to be the marketer for the brand that is called you. And you guys, that's what I am here for, to help you guys be the CEO of your own company and help you brand the company that is called you. So with that being said, you can reach me right there. There's all my contact information. If you want to schedule a one-on-one with me, I actually have my own website, which is www.titletinatalks.com. So you guys can actually hit me up there. I also want to let you guys know that we have a streaming platform now on Roku and Fire TV, that agents that are working with me, there's just something a little bit special. I do things a little bit different. So when I say I'm not your average title rep, I mean it. And when I say that Community National Title is not your average title company, we mean it. So y'all holler at me. I'm done. Any questions?
Yeah, any questions for Tina?
Yes.
One person wants to know, will this be shared?
What, the presentation?
Yeah, so you just don't save it for your training class.
No, I'm saving for my training class. If you want it, you have to come to the training class.
All right. Hey.
Right. So, but yes, just call me. I'm happy to help any way I can, you guys.
Any other questions for Tina, guys?
Yeah, Tina is a great resource. She carved out some time for me. So definitely hit her up. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's not titled Tina for nothing.
That's right. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that.
All right.
I'm here to help as many of our people get what God has for them as I possibly can. So y'all just call me.
Okay.
How much do you pay her for that?
Look, he didn't pay me anything, Mr. Billy.
That's right.
He did not. He did not. So let me stop this.
Stop sharing the screen.
Yeah, where is it? Stop share right there. There we go.
All right. Okay. Appreciate it, Tina. Well, Miss Redwine is not here with us for this meeting. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over a couple of things that we talked about at the Cleveland conference for NAREB National this past meeting. So we do have a new a new president for the president for NAREB nationally, and that's Miss Madam Lillian Poe. And she has 5 initiatives that she's going to she wants us to work toward home ownership. And the 5 Black building wealth initiatives is, the first one is a faith-based and civic engagement. Number 2 is a women initiative. Number 3 is diversity in industry for small businesses. Number 4 is multi-generational wealth. And number 5 is government relation and advocacy. So the conference itself was awesome. Meaning I tried to, if you are in the Facebook group, I uploaded some of the meeting, some of the meetings I attended. I recorded it Facebook Live, so they might still be in the Facebook group. And itself, it was a lot of powerful people in the room. And so what you guys miss out on by not attending the meeting is the relationships with other people throughout the U.S. There were well over 400 plus members there for the conference this past weekend. I mean, that past week, a month ago for the meeting in national, and there was a passing of the torch. There was also a lot of information being passed as far as the direction of where we're going as African Americans and things we should be doing. The real estate industry has changed tremendously, and it would not be the same. So you have to make sure you're connected to the people that you are really selling your homes to, and that's your culture. So you have to understand what's going on besides putting the person in the house, what's coming down the pipeline. And so those are the things that they talked about what's coming down the pipeline. And the number one thing that most realtors forget about this business is relationships. Rashad always quote what his mother Ira always say, NAREB will get you in doors that you cannot get into yourself. But also boils down to the relationship that you have with the realtors. I have no incentive to answer my phone or give my resources or things I paid for if you're not connected. And that's the important things about it. I invite you to a cookout, but I'm not going to let you eat at my house every week without without contributing something. So that's the most important. People forget is you got to be invested with something. And I think NAREB has been around since 1947, and they've been around for a reason. It ain't because they've been around because, for one, they care. And another thing, they understand the dynamics and how important it is. Right now, there's a change in power. There's a change going up on Capitol Hill, and we have no control of it, a lot of it. But we have to make sure we're connected to the right people that's already have set the stage and stop creating and reinventing the wheel. So one thing Mark Austin said is, we may not be getting reparation, but he said because they don't like that word. And I don't even think we're going to get restitution. But what I do know is there's going to be a lot of money passed around with the George Floyd Act that we have to understand of how to be prepared for it. I think Ms. Theodore Redwine, you just jumped on, Ms. Redwine?
I did.
You ready to jump in? I was just giving my spiel from the conference of what they displayed there. But go ahead, Ms. Redwine, you have the floor.
All right. I just wanted to make sure everybody is aware that we do have a serious problem with renters who have been given the money, the COVID Act money, and the complexes are charging fees that they cannot legally charge, and they are processing in a manner which will keep that client from being able to purchase. So you need to be highly conscious of that, and you want to refer them to the Tenants Association. So I'm working with a gentleman right now who now he's gone into full-time teaching. He actually had a nonprofit that worked with after-school children. So obviously COVID killed that. I sent him to an entity that has lawyers that help individuals get COVID money to pay the delinquent apartment fees, which they did. The problem we have now is they've added on hundreds of dollars worth of fees outside of what was paid for by the legal entity. They being the apartment complexes, there's a 10% cap on how much they can charge in delinquent fees. But we're now finding that there are complexes that will charge thousands of dollars if they can get away with it. So it's going to be very important that when you are working with someone who is coming from an apartment complex or lived in that complex anytime from COVID on, that you have them pull that credit report before you even send them to the lender, the loan officer. We have to work with them in advance, which we should have always been doing anyway. But you want to take a look at that credit report and see if those fees are on there. Some of them are just adding them late in the game, and tenants aren't understanding. So they're trying to come up with the money, which means it's now on there permanently. And now it's showing as a late. So it's very, very important that we stay on top of that. The other issue has to do with new home builds. And as we know, many of the new home builders opted to reduce commissions, and then they aren't completing the homes on time. Not only are they not on time, but they can't say exactly when it's going to be completed. So this is an excellent time for us to let them know, which I let mine know, that reducing that commission only provided less incentive for me to encourage that client to stay on that property with a giant question mark, because we can take them elsewhere and make more commission. Now, by law, we do what's best for the client. I'm not convinced what's best for the client is to stay on a contract where we have no clue as to when or if that property will ever be completed. If a builder ends up with any kind of financial trouble, which many of them are experiencing financial stress, and as I explained before, they have loans they take out, and those loans have come due and they haven't completed those homes. So while many of them are saying, oh, we don't have the supplies, financially, many of them are suffering, and that's what you're seeing. So they're having to like shift the funds around to decide whose home is going to be completed first. So there's so much going on there. It's just really important that you are on top of what's happening with your builder. You need to ask your builder, and your better builders will actually be taking pictures every couple of weeks and sending to the client in a portfolio. The rest of the builders, it's like you don't know unless you go by there. So, once again, in order to be considered among the best in the business and to make sure that you're doing your clients a service, you're going to have to pay attention to the leasing portion as well as to the building portion. And I did want to mention that it is important that you remind your client that they are not to go to Ashley Furniture or any place else that's telling them no interest for 2 years or 4 years, because when they're held up like this and they can't build, they're out spending money. So you have to constantly remind them not to do that, or it will jeopardize your transaction. Thank you, Monty.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Redwine. That information is very relevant and important for us to educate our clients. So right now, with everything's being changed and the delay, we have to make sure we educate and prep our buyers up, as well as our seller, for what's going on in this market. So that's one of the things, because once again, our people are unique. So we got to understand the dynamics of educating, making sure our people stay homeowners, because our wealth is still at a 0.05%. Even though we've opened doors for many organizations, there's been things that they know about us that continue to affect us. So we got to stay ahead of the information, making sure our clients are well-rounded and knowledgeable, and we stay connected to our client, the life of why they're in the house, and not just be a transaction agent. So, but once again, we've come to the end, guys. And Marty Jefferson, do you have anything to speak on behalf of Women's Council? Marcy here? I guess not. Well, once again, guys.
I had one thing I'd like to pass on because I met with John Wiley and the state senator West. Is they have money to invest in the broadband, and a lot of the information we do not get, like in different parts of the city. So this is going to be a great thing for us, this broadband. And as I get more information, I will share it with you all.
Okay, appreciate it, Ms. Scott. But once again, there is a lot of money floating around for African Americans or minorities right now. And so the thing about it is you want to make sure that you're educated enough about how to take advantage of it right now. Ms. Redwine mentioned the COVID money. Some people took advantage of the forbearance they shouldn't have, but I might need to ask Ms. Redwine to investigate that and come back with some, you know anything about that, Thea, about people taking advantage of the forbearance, the results that might happen in doing that? Go ahead.
Well, as long as most of the mortgage companies did not require proof of a COVID-related activity. So those people are fine. The challenge is once that 12 months was up, like right now, each of the owners is able to get an additional 3-month extension. That 3-month extension is where they're going to get in trouble. So they're fine as far as the initial portion. There were no questions asked because many people's hardship was that they were taking on additional family members. In other words, the COVID may not have hit them, directly with their employer. However, they may have had to have family members. They may have had to stay home to take care of the children. But at this point, they have to provide proof. So the danger element is in providing fraudulent proof, not with the other portion. Many of them also don't understand that although we don't have any late fees added, that all of the money associated with principal, interest, taxes, and insurance is added on to the end for a full year. And many individuals don't have any equity in their home. So, hey, that's where we are on that. So everybody's got to really insist that those clients provide the most important thing is to have them give you the most recent statement, and that's going to tell you the story. That's the story. So you really, at the end of the day, I've never relied on my clients I ask them, but I don't rely on them to tell me what is actually credible because many of them just simply do not know. They don't understand the term. So the only way to protect them is actually to get a copy of the most recent quarterly statement and verify whose name is on there too.
All right, then, I appreciate Ms. Redwine. But once again, guys, we were wrapping it up. Stephen, you mind praying us out?
Yes, Monty. The Heavenly Father, God, thank you again for allowing us to get into this meeting, Father God. Dive in, have a deep dive, Father God, of all the things that we've discussed, Father God, from the mortgage side to the credibility of the programs and what's actually happening in our economy, God, and further understand more about how we can be of a greater service and make a greater impact into our community, Father. I thank you for this, the love of this organization. Thank you for Monty sharing the wisdom and the opportunities that NAREB is doing on a grander scale, Father God, so that we can understand that we are micro opportunities, Father God, that we can obtain here, Father God, that we can build bridges and build tall buildings, Father God, so that we can, our impact can stretch far and wide through bridges, through opportunities to show that we can handle our community, Father God, and that we may not need other services, Father God, that may not be a greater impact, Father God, but us as a collective community, we are here together and we are here strong. We love you and we thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Monty,
Hey,
I want to mention also that you might want to mention about the national award being presented to Robbie at National. One of our own members. Can you still? One of our own members. You're muted. Can you still? Monty. You're muted. Monty.
And Monty, we have a few announcements for Women's Council as well, while you unmute.
I don't know what's going on with his. We see you talking, but we can't hear you. I don't know what's going on with his. We see you talking, but we can't hear you.
You still show it's muted.
Okay. Go ahead, Marty, go ahead. Go ahead, Marty, go ahead.
Okay, so for, we want to say a special prayer for Madam President Carol Holmes and her family. They have experienced two huge losses in their family within the last 3 months. Charlie Holmes lost his mother, and then his brother lost his battle to cancer about a week ago. That funeral service is today. Also, today is the last day to get in your application for scholarships. So we're giving out 4 services today. Also, today is the last day to get in your application for scholarships. So we're giving out 4 services today. Also, today is the last day to get in your application for scholarships. So we're giving out 4 services today. Also, today is the last day to get in your application for scholarships. So we're giving out 4 services today. Also, today is the last day to get in your application for scholarships.
Okay.
Yeah, it's echoing. It's echoing, guys. So,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can't hear it right now, guys. So it's echoing.
Okay. Thank you all. I don't know if Monty can get it out, but thank you all for attending the meeting. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you,
Good
guys.
to see everyone.
All right, have a great weekend.
Bye-bye. Okay. Thank
Bye-bye.
you all. I don't know if Monty can get it out, but thank you all for attending the meeting.
Okay, thank you,
Have a
guys.
good day.
Bye-bye. Thank you, guys.